There's improvement of policing in our country today because of these continuous reforms. We therefore applaud the personnel that have committed themselves to constitutional obligation of ensuring highest standards of professionalism and discipline. We condole with the families of those officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty. Regrettably, in the last 10 years, we have lost over 600 police officers directly in the line of duty while working to secure our country, to combat crime and in enforcement of law and order, including during public protests. The strength and sustained growth of our nation could not have been possible without the brave, selfless and dedicated service of our gallant security officers. Their commitment and sacrifice have been instrumental in ensuring the safety and stability we enjoy today. Nevertheless, we continue to face immense challenges in our pursuit of ideals enshrined in Article 244 of our Constitution. These challenges compel us to relentlessly strive for legal, institutional, and constitutional reforms aimed at enhancing the quality and the effectiveness of our police service. The Kriegler report laid a foundation towards police reforms in Kenya. Unfortunately, despite this well-intentioned framework and constitutional backing, meaningful reforms have stalled. Key challenges such as the limited operational independence, inadequate resourcing, and increased cases of police brutality and impunity have reversed much of the initial gain. As such, the promises and ideals of Kriegler report remain largely unfulfilled, even as public demand for a reformed, accountable, and rights-respecting police service continues to intensify. Upon assuming office in 2022, the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, established a task force to look into critical reforms
Naam, mtazamaji
The modernization efforts, including establishment of a national forensic laboratory to create 10 specialized units to handle different aspects of forensic science. The National Police Service Veterans and Fallen Heroes Bill to address various aspects of welfare of the veterans and the support system for families of the fallen soldiers. All these bills are in the final stage before they can be presented before Cabinet and then tabled in National Assembly and the Senate. As highlighted, it was not always the norm for the police that the police were held accountable for the actions in extrajudicial cases of police brutality. Post the 2010 Constitution, we have had remarkable accountability framework that have led to the punishment of police officers, such as in William Kimani murder in 2016, where 3 police officers were convicted of death for the murder of human rights lawyer Willie Kimani, his client Josephat Mwendwa, and their driver Joseph Muiruri. B. Baby Samantha Pendo case of 2017, where 4 police officers were charged with the murder of 6-month-old baby Samantha Pendo, who was killed during post-election protests in Kisumu in 2017. 3. Martin Koome murder of 2013, where police officer at the rank of an OCS was found guilty and sentenced to death for torturing a suspect to death inside a cell. Among many other instances that the police have been dealt with, family for breach of law and the Constitution. Although we have experienced worse incidents in the past, the progressive nature of our law and policy will soon make such occurrences rare in our country. Incidents such as bodies being dumped in Yala River, the case of Indian nationals killed in a container at police station, cases of abductions, incarcerations, detention without trial, and recently the death of Mr. Albert Ojwang while in the hands of police, among others, must be punished by law, and those involved will soon be held accountable. Globally, countries have made significant strides in attaining police reforms. Instances such as public outcry, social movements, and specific instances of violence or misconduct have led to significant and relatable scenarios of police reforms. As a government, we are duty-bound to uphold the highest possible standards in safeguarding the security and well-being of the people of Kenya. As the Cabinet Secretary responsible for internal security, I have initiated a program dubbed Jukwaa la Usalama as a proactive mission to engage Kenyans and the security organs in formulating priority areas of reform and enforcement of law. Our goals remain delivery of professional, accountable, and citizen-centered policing that meets the aspirations of our Constitution. To realize these objectives, the Ministry of Interior and National Administration remains firmly committed to pursuing reforms through adherence to the Constitution, continuous legislation, policy and administrative reforms, and adoption of international best practices. Upon consultation and introspection of the past and current incidents of police excesses, and in the aspiration of fulfillment of constitutional standards under Article 244, I have today directed the implementation of the following policy reforms framework in the National Police Service. First, on CCTV surveillance, it shall be mandatory to equip police stations with CCTV surveillance to enhance transparency and accountability. All the police stations currently standing at 1,209 shall have CCTV surveillance within the next 2 years. We shall be making proposals to Parliament to enact laws that criminalize tampering with CCTV cameras. The surveillance system shall be in the custody of the officer commanding station, and the said officer shall be required to ensure that the system is always functioning, and instances of fault, it shall be reported within 1 hour through the established chain of command. The CCTV shall have an external backup system. It's important for Kenyans to know that the current stations that have CCTVs are not CCTVs that are sanctioned fully by the National Police Service. It was the initiative of the individual police stations. Now this shall be mandatory for the entire 1,209 police stations and other police stations that shall be constructed. 2, digitization of occurrence book. Over the next 1 year, and in line with the bottom-up economic transformation agenda program of digitization, we shall roll out a digital reporting system. This is a reform that has been initiated, and we are now committed to the digitization of occurrence books to ensure all reported incidences can be traced and be tamper-proof. 3, community policing initiative. Every police station shall be mandated to adopt and steer community policing models to improve relations with citizens. This integration with the local community will lead to greater accountability and improvement of working relations. 4, regular audits, evaluations, and performance review. I have directed an immediate establishment of a policy framework for conducting independent audits of police practices, procedures, and use of resources to ensure compliance with established policies and identify areas for improvement. Working together with civil society, religious leaders, and other stakeholders, we shall ensure regular audits and evaluation with awards to the best police officers, police stations, among others. We are creating systems that evaluate officers' performance based not just on enforcement metric, but also community relations and adherence to requisite ethical standards. This framework shall establish both the criteria for reward and sanction of respective police officers. 5, training and education. I have directed the establishment of continuous professional development training on all officers beginning with the OCSs, who shall be required to undertake minimum training annually on set of constitutional standards of the National Police Service as shall be developed in the curriculum. This marks the first step in restoring professionalism, discipline, and service excellence across all ranks. To achieve this, we shall work closely with the National Treasury and Parliament to ensure adequate resources are allocated. It is unfortunate that whenever budget cuts strike, training is often the first casualty. We are also forging partnership with development partners, public benefit organizations, and other stakeholders to sustain this initiative. In our upcoming police recruitment drive, we shall include a specific cadre of specialized officers to infuse fresh talent, professionalism, and modern policing standards throughout the service. All these reforms will be centralized for oversight and implementation at every police station, directly under the responsibility of the officer commanding station. It is important to note that in the command and structure of police service, the OCS is the ultimate officer in charge of all activities related to enforcement of law and order at the police station. All the other superior structures exist for the coordination and command of the National Police Service. It is therefore our intention to implement, monitor, and evaluate aforestated reforms of the police station. Our intention is to make our police stations centers of excellence. It's important for all of us to know as Kenyans that just the way we say in elections, the polling station is the final place of voting. The police station is the final station of reporting any crime in the National Police Service, and therefore every person, including senior officers, even the minister, everybody else has to always go back to a police station, and therefore we want to make the police stations to become the center of excellence. We shall make the respective budgetary adjustments to prioritize these reforms among other modernization strategies in the forthcoming and subsequent financial years. We shall also pitch for support of these priorities from our development partners to ensure efficient and effective implementation of these reforms. As we relentlessly advocate for appropriate conduct by the police, there must be a reciprocal emphasis on the responsibility of citizens to show respect towards police officers as they discharge their lawful duties. Just as police officers are held accountable and subjected to public scrutiny, citizens too must accept that their actions are not beyond reproach. We are extremely concerned by the increasing instances where police officers have come under unwarranted attacks while executing their lawful duties. These challenges must not be ignored, and they point to a broader need to foster mutual understanding, accountability, and respect between the police and the public. In some instances, the nation has watched in disbelief as individuals forcefully entered protected areas such as parliament and police stations, with incidences such as burning police vehicles and destruction of government installations. Equally alarming are cases involving mob justice, acts of banditry, and illegal possession and public display of firearms. Such acts not only threaten national security, but also undermine rule of law. In conclusion, I wish to give my highest assurance that the Ministry of Interior National Administration, working in concert with other government agencies and in close collaboration with the people of Kenya, will continue to pursue and implement the much-needed reforms within the security sector. This process will be progressive and guided by the constitutional values, best practices, and the unwavering pursuit of justice and professionalism. I thank you.
Waziri wa usalama wa kitaifa Kipchumba